dogfight.
Well, the fangs are out in a debate over the new animal abuse registry in Hillsborough County. You would think passing an ordinance designed to help animals would be all warm and fuzzy. But as senior investigative reporter Steve Andrews reminds us tonight, this is Hillsborough County we're talking about.
That's right, Keith. An animal abuse registry. It sounds great. County commissioners are busting their buttons over this one. But, and a big but, some contend as written, this ordinance won't save one animal from abuse. Animal abuse horror stories haunt our headlines. Today, the county created an animal abuse registry. It requires people convicted of abusing animals register with the sheriff's office and prohibits them from adopting in the future. It requires buyers at pet stores to sign an affidavit that they're not on the abuse registry.
When we talk about an affidavit at a pet store, that animal is already out the door. That animal is already abused. It doesn't matter if they sign a piece of paper or not.
Lisa Walker-Hutchins chairs the county's Animal Advisory Committee. She thinks the ordinance needs more work. That's when the fangs came out.
There were accusations that were thrown out that this was all a political ploy that I put forward. This is hardly a political ploy.
Commissioner Kevin Beckner is behind the registry. He claims the Animal Advisory Committee wants to rewrite it to get the credit.
So I think there are a couple of members that probably have other intentions, and so we can't deal with politics and ego that sits on the AAC board.
If we want to talk about this being a political thing, then we need to ask Commissioner Beckner why he chose a secret committee.
Hillsborough already has a list of people not allowed to own animals. When you're supposed to be the voice of animals, earlier this year, 8 on Your Side revealed that list had not been updated in 2 years.
If you can't maintain one, you can't maintain the other.
Beckner says the sheriff's office and code enforcement will track down those who don't register. Code enforcement will handle these like it does code complaints. Really? 8 on Your Side has repeatedly exposed the county's inability or unwillingness to clamp down on chronic code violators who've run up hundreds of thousands in fines. That's an example of how code enforcement doesn't do its job. And we're going to throw something more on top of them? Okay. Now, regarding that secret committee allegation, Commissioner Beckner did form a committee which basically wrote the ordinance before the Animal Advisory Committee even got to see it. So I think they're a little ticked about that.
We're getting a lot of comments on Facebook about this as well. We got one question here about enforcement. The person wants to know what happens if someone on the list starts dating someone who owns a dog.
How do you enforce something like that? I mean, that's one of the loopholes in this thing, and that's why they wanted to go back and have it reworked, and it kind of got shot down. So if folks want to know more about this or get the word out, just go to our News Channel 8 Facebook page, click on share, get that thing out there.
Yeah.
People can learn about the Animal Abuse Registry.
And feel free to weigh in and ask your questions, and maybe
we'll see if we can come up with some
get an answer. All right, thank you, Steve. And a reminder, if you have a problem that you think needs to be investigated, you can call our 8 on Your Side helpline. It is 1-800-338-0808.